Welcome to Coming Inside Out. I am Brian James.
Welcome, everyone. I'm John Derler.
Thank you so much for joining us today. Hey, John, I went back and I listened to our first 3 podcasts.
Mhm.
Congratulations. That was amazing. Thank you so much. Just wanted to give our listeners a little recap if they didn't hear the first 3 that we did. In our first episodes, we talked about coming out to our kids.
Yeah.
We're both gay fathers. We both came out late in life. So we talked a little bit about coming out to our kids. We also touched on bullying and the coping mechanisms that we used while bullying. We also talked a little bit about sexual abuse.
Yeah.
And you talked about getting caught by your wife.
Yeah.
Which was big.
Yeah.
So, I definitely want to talk more about those. I thought today's topic would be great if we talked about shame and embarrassment. I know that runs rampant in our community.
Yeah.
And just to share a little backstory with you, when I was thinking of this topic, my son is graduating high school.
That's exciting. Good for him.
Yes. And I was walking my dog the other day and I thought, okay, I'm going to see my ex-wife. We text each other, but we don't see each other that much. And so I thought, okay, I'm going to see her. I'm going to see all these kids' parents that I haven't seen in a while because I came out during COVID. And I was thinking to myself, is my ex going to be uncomfortable that we're in front of all of these people? And now I'm gay because every time we used to get together, I was a heterosexual man, and now I'm showing up at this event and I'm gay, and I think to myself, how is she?
Well, do they know that you're gay? Do some of them?
Everybody knows. Everybody knows.
You mean everybody at the school?
I publicly came out as gay. I have a story about.
You run a commercial or a radio ad? What'd you do?
No. What did I do?
Yeah.
Oh, God. Well, this is a little bit off topic, but I'll share with you.
This is part of topic.
All right.
I mean, this is what you did. This is part of us coming out. What did you do?
Well, I spend my life protecting my children.
Yeah.
And I did something that just crushed me. A couple years ago, when my boys were getting on TikTok, their mother reached out to me and she's like, hey, one of us needs to be on TikTok to see what these guys are doing.
Right.
We don't know anything about TikTok. And I said, okay, I'll download the app and I'll get on there. So I started, messing around on TikTok a little bit.
And then you got sucked in.
Yeah. And then my older son said to me, hey, Dad, you should be a gay realtor on TikTok. You should do some TikToks as a gay realtor. And I thought, oh man, that's a great idea. I don't know anything about TikTok. So I did a couple videos on TikTok. One of the videos I did, I bought a shirt that said, woke up gay again.
Okay.
Fully clothed. I'm in my bed.
Sure. Yeah.
I pulled my covers back and there's my shirt that says wake up gay again. So I post this on TikTok and about 2 weeks later, my ex reaches out to me and she said, hey, I need to talk to you. And I'm like, okay, what do you need to talk to me about? And she said, your son came home crying today from school. And I said, oh no,
Well, you have 2 sons.
I have 2. My younger son.
So the older one is one that wanted you on TikTok, said, hey, Dad, go to TikTok. But then your younger son did not know what you were doing.
No.
Okay.
And my older son didn't tell me what to do. My older son gave me an idea. So I take full responsibility for it.
Sure.
So I'm on TikTok. I have this video out there. My ex calls me and I said, what's up? And she said, that video of you waking up gay again is running rampant through the school. And at the time, I did not know that my children's friends would even know that I'm on TikTok or anything about me.
Right.
So here he is in 10th grade and the entire school knows his dad is gay.
So your topic today was shame and embarrassment.
Yes.
Well, it's just not us that goes through it.
No.
And that's the perfect example of being responsible when we do come out, have empathy, have sympathy, but really, we learn by our mistakes. We learn by our mistakes. And that was a mistake that you made, but let's flip that over. It was the courage that you were able to do it, because I would have never done that because I am so scared. We're both realtors, by the way. And I'm in a predominantly, I don't know if it's predominantly conservative in Los Angeles, but regardless of it not, it's more high-end real estate. I've had a lot of agents around that I did not want them to know because we put on a facade, or we don't put on the facade, but gay men that are married, the facade is already there that you're married to a woman and everyone sees you as that couple. And you do it again and again. You're out at social events, you're over here, you're over there. Everyone knows that. Then they know your wife. And that is what's so hard. And what I was embarrassed and shame about is, how am I going to do that transition? How am I going to make that transition from John, the straight, married with two beautiful boys guy? How is that transition going to happen? And you know what, guys? I don't think there is any playbook for it. You just have to experience it. But I'm hoping that some of these stories, like what you're saying, because Brian, I know you. You're a very caring, loving father, and you're empathetic. But sometimes we do stupid shit.
Yes.
We do stupid shit, and that, I know you. If you would have thought about it, like, oh wait, how is this going to affect? I'm not worried about how it's going to affect the ex-wife, because we'll get into that later of like, how much are we going to respect them and do that? But then again, we have to turn around and live our own life.
Yes.
And, and that's a transition about separating, getting divorced and doing that. It's a long road. For some, it's a quick road because maybe some wives are, embarrassed and are homophobic, and it blows it all up.
Yeah.
But then you're going to have
a relationship's just over. It's
over. And then you're going to have the other relationships that are empathetic and love, that still loves you because they love you. Guys, your wife loves you. And, she's thinking that this is a straight relationship. And talk about the shame and the embarrassment coming back to it. It is a process. It's a process that you do, I think, need support. I know I do. But getting back to you, Brian, your son, that's a perfect example. So he came home, talked to his mother about it.
Yeah.
So you had to hear it from her and not him.
Yes.
And yeah. How did that go down?
Well,
Walk us through that.
I was immediately just completely just horrified because I have done everything I can do to protect my children. I would jump in front of a moving car, I'd jump in front of a boat, whatever, to protect my kids.
Of course.
To know that I did that just made me feel like crap. So I immediately went on TikTok. I deleted all my videos.
You took all that. But, okay, I'm sorry that happened. However, the courage that you had to do that, you were okay to do that. So, Brian, that's a huge step. Let's just, we'll talk about the son. We'll talk about all that later. But let's talk about what your topic today is: shame and embarrassment. And I would have never done that. I would probably do it now because I'm more comfortable with it. But you did it was it on the onset?
It was like 2021. It was probably 2021. It was during the pandemic.
Yeah.
But,
wait a minute. We were doing all things crazy on the internet during during the COVID.
Yes. And, I had no idea. I thought I was posting these videos and it was going anywhere but in my own backyard.
Yeah.
So I wasn't thinking, oh, here's, my clients are going to see me doing these gay videos on TikTok. I wasn't thinking my clients were on TikTok. I wasn't thinking big picture. I thought, oh, I'm just going to be funny.
Yeah.
I'm going to get some likes, people, a little bit of humor, that, something, to pass the time during COVID.
Yeah.
I just didn't realize the impact.
Walk me through the conversation you had with your youngest son.
I just apologized to him. I said, I got off of my ex-wife. I reached out to him. He was staying at his mother's house. We share 50-50 custody of our kids. And he was at his mother's house. And I reached out to him like, hey, listen, I want you to go to dinner. So I picked him up. I took him to dinner. I just looked him in the eyes. And I'm like, buddy, I am so sorry. If I could take it back, I would. I've deleted the videos. I know the damage is done. And for him, luckily, because his experience at school is much different than mine.
Yeah.
He has some great friends. He, in my eyes, I see him as
good support.
somebody, he played sports in school.
Yeah.
So I think he has a good group of friends, but there's all these other people on the
Listen, there's always going to be haters. It doesn't matter. There's always going to be haters.
Yes.
And what our job is as fathers is to, of course, love, support our children, but also, talk about that. Break it down, like who's bullying you or who's hating on you because of that.
Yeah.
Just like you said last week. You said one of your biggest bullies in high school or wherever it was, he turned out being gay.
Yes. Yeah.
Being gay. Can we
being gay?
Or he just turned out gay.
Who are you being gay
Who are
with?
you being gay? Well, that's right. That's what. If you just join us, this is coming inside out, and to recap, we did when I came out to my youngest son. I said, "Son, I'm your dad's gay." He goes, "You're gay? Who are you gay with?" He wanted to know who you gay with, and then he wanted to know, does that mean I'm going to have 3 daddies now? And you have to stop and think, do the math. He's a little mathematician, because my ex-wife, she could be married to a man, me being married to a man, and then me. There's 3 daddies. It's, but I'm sorry your son went through that, because it's like we don't want to drag our children into this. They're not asking for it.
No. And these are minors. Yours were minors when you came out.
Right.
My youngest just turned 18.
Right.
So during this whole process.
Let's cut to now, because I think a lot of people that are listening to us is like, they're probably thinking, how am I going to do this? What am I going to do? Or am I going to do this? Listen, gentlemen, you may be on the fence here. Should I come out? Should I not come out? Well, I'll tell you one thing you don't do is you don't take yourself out. Okay?
Yes.
Do not. Please do not call in and get help and get advice of what to do, because believe me, gentlemen, believe me, it gets better.
Yes.
It gets better. I know, and Brian knows too what you're going through, and it gets better, because some of you have children, we have children, and I don't want to see a life with my children without me.
Yes. And
a lot of people do that. I mean, I see a lot of guys in the South that have committed suicide. They're married, but they've committed suicide. And I just wonder, because my uncle, he committed suicide. He was gay. He was married to a woman. And it's just, it's just so sad. But I think, speaking from experience, the shame, the guilt, the embarrassment, it does get better.
Yeah. Well, so getting back to me seeing my wife at graduation and thinking about how am I going to minimize and alleviate her discomfort, walking my dog, and I just had this thought pop into my head, and it was like, why the fuck is anything about me being gay have to be an embarrassment or discomfort or shameful to anybody? Why is being gay so wrapped in shame and guilt?
Because it's 1950s, 1930s, 1920s.
But it's not anymore.
It is it's past stuff. I think, during the generations, you never came out. Come on, you just don't come out. And that's talking to all of our brothers and sisters in the LGBTQ community that have just really set our trail, blazed the trail for it to be easier for us.
Yes.
And they have done that. But again, depending where you are, what region you are in the United States, where you are, some people will not come out and they're scared to do it. And I'm just blown away of how advanced we are. Because, I came out 6-7 years ago, and it's just, and I thought, talk about embarrassment. I thought, oh my God, what is this person going to say to me? Am I going to lose this person as a friend? Am I going to lose this, as my brother? Because see, my brother was my father figure.
Mm-hmm.
My dad left when I was 4. My brother took the reins. And I was 4. My brother was, I think, 10 or 11. But he was the one that, and again, I'm from Texas. So he was the one that taught me how to hunt, how to fish, how to drive. He taught me everything. So he basically was my father, if you will. So I had the same nervousness, embarrassment to come out to him because he's a gung ho guy. And it was, my point is, you never know what, and I anticipated because I gave him a phone call.
All right.
No.
Well, I'm going to ask you a question about this first.
Yeah.
Because, the listeners, if they didn't hear the previous podcast, your wife caught you. She found out that you were having hookups, relationships with other men.
Yeah.
When I came out, I made the decision of the day that it was going to leave my lips and go to somebody else's ears, and I was in control of that. You got caught. You had no control over who your
Good
wife
point.
was going to tell, how many people were going to know.
Yeah.
You didn't have any say in that.
Right.
Because you have a wife that quite possibly was very bitter, very angry, and she could have robbed you of that by telling people you didn't want to know before you wanted them to know.
That could have happened.
So roll this out for us.
I didn't get caught.
Not in the act. Oh, well, yeah, all right. Yes, you're right. In an argument, you confessed.
Can I finish?
Yes, sorry.
So, goddamn, let me talk. Shit. So we were having problems. Absolutely. And guys, if you're gay or straight and you were married, I don't give a shit. You're all going to have problems. If you're a gay man with a straight wife and just living with someone, there's going to be issues. We've had the issues, but of course there was the huge element that was not spoken of me being gay. And we separated bedrooms. We both slept in separate bedrooms for years, a couple of years. And then I didn't touch her anymore. And this was very odd. And we got in a heated argument one night, and she goes, what is it? What is it? She goes, what are you, gay? As a joke. And I said, I don't know. And that floored her. Because it gave me, actually, she was the one that gave me the power to come out. Because she asked the question, and I was tired. She never asked me the question, but I'm just tired of keeping it a secret and lying about everything.
Yeah.
And actually, she really gave me an out. It came off as a joke from her, but this was my opportunity to come out and be honest. And I seriously, I didn't have the balls, even though I had big balls, but I didn't have the balls to say, hey, I need to talk to you about this. I kept it a secret.
Yes.
And I felt like a coward. I felt small, and I felt not worthy. And I was just in that mode. But anyway, I got that opportunity to be honest. Now, yes, after that, she goes, and I lied. I'm human, but I lied. She goes, have you been with anybody? No, I have not. And that was not true. I had been, and I had been hooking up. The Craigslist, whatever sites you can go on and do that. And that's the other thing too. I protected myself. I was safe during that, but you can always bring something back into the home. If you're out there acting out, and listen, if you're acting out with straight people or gay people, there's diseases that are out there, and people can bring stuff home. But to get to your point, and a long way to get to the point, she gave me the out, if you will. And then she started researching my laptop, going in, and she found every conversation that I had had. And so she actually knew more things that I had done than I had known myself.
Then you remembered.
That I remembered.
Yeah.
Because, when you're acting out, and look, there's a lot, because you never cheated on your wife.
No.
And I did. And so, it was hard. It was very hard, but it was a bit freeing though.
Well, her finding this out, she goes, she searches your computer, she starts seeing your search history, she starts finding out your activity. Did she give you the opportunity to come out to everybody you wanted to come out to, or was she so angry that she needed to get this off her chest and she started telling people?
Well, she, once she found that she needed to confirm all of this, she wanted to know what the hell was going on. And, she called me during work one day and just was, lit into me. And she goes, I found all of this stuff that you've been doing. How fucking dare you lie to me? And I mean, it was horrible. It was horrible. And it was, warranted. It was warranted because, I was in what she thought was a monogamous straight relationship. So it was.
How long after that did you separate?
Oh, it took a few years.
Oh, it did.
Well,
Okay.
because I went into therapy. I went into people are wondering, am I a sex addict? And what defines you as a sex addict? Believe me, I've spent probably over $100,000 in therapy regarding that. I had a great counselor, and it was a men's group of men that would cheat on their wives or cheat on their spouses. And I was exploring because I still loved women. I still saw women as beautiful. And, they thought, well, and after my intense therapy and everything, they would invite the wives in to, this was some deep stuff.
Was this to salvage your marriage?
Trying to, either way.
Okay.
It was there for support if you're going to stay together or if you're going to split. And so I didn't know if I was bisexual, though.
Okay.
See, there was a part of that, and that was a huge question. And she, my wife was like, look, if you're bisexual, I could probably live with that. There might, she's very forgiving, very understanding, but it was, I had no idea. But then I did. I decided I'm gay. I didn't decide. I realized, right?
Oh, it's not a decision. You don't get to decide if you're gay or heterosexual. It's not a decision you get to make. All right.
No, it was.
Thank you for clarifying.
Yes. So it was, and continued with the therapy and everything, but it was good because if you are thinking about this and if you have cheated, that's another level. It's another level because for you weren't cheating. And it wasn't that betrayal that your wife is feeling. I betrayed my wife.
Yes.
And so I take ownership in that. I'm not proud of it, but I'm mature enough to take responsibility and try to make it the best way I can.
And how's your relationship today? So this happened 6 years ago?
7 years.
7 years ago? And your relationship today?
Well, we own a company together. So that's one thing that keeps us. And, it's interesting because you never know what's going to happen. But the most beautiful thing about this whole situation, I say beautiful thing, even though we're divorced, split, we still get to see our kids every day, 50-50, even though she has them 50% and I do. They're always coming into the office. They're doing their homework in the conference room. So when it's my day, she sees them, or when it's a great, healthy relationship for our children.
Yes.
Which is the most important thing that we want. And so that was, it's been nice. It's been nice. But, still, we still argue. We still fight. It's just the way it is.
Yeah, and that's to be expected as business partners as well. Yeah. All right.
So, again, I rattled off here, but I want to come back to you. And your son's doing fine, right?
My son's doing fine. I'm going to see a lot of the parents I haven't seen in a couple of years. Aside from this TikTok thing that I did, I came out really quietly. When I came out during the pandemic, I sent text messages. I wasn't seeing a lot of people, so I kind of sent, group text messages over a 3-day period to, different groups of my friend groups. And it wasn't really talked about because I didn't see a lot of these people during the pandemic. So a year went by with some of these people. And a lot of these parents that I haven't seen them since, I don't know, 3-4 years. So they're going to see me at this graduation with.
You going to wear that t-shirt?
I need to lose my COVID weight first. Yeah, exactly. No, I don't think I'm going to wear the t-shirt.
Okay.
But I still have it. I'll wear it on the show.
But I think, I mean, get it seriously. I think, that you seeing all the other friends, parents and stuff, because they always knew that you guys were a couple.
Yes.
And so now they're, it's like, what do they want to say? What do they, because it seems honestly, everyone has supported me in this. And my fear and my embarrassment was people were not going to love me anymore, not want to be my friend,
or that work with you,
won't work with me. And it's the complete opposite. Because believe me, in my head, guys, we have so many negative thoughts every day that goes through our heads. And that was the thing. People are going to hate me, not going to like me. But honestly, every single person has been more loving, supportive. And it was such a surprise. And that was my brother, too, to circle back. I had to tell him. And so
my older
brother, yes, who was like my father. So, if you're going to tell your father, this is a perfect example. And maybe this is the best way to do it. I texted him and I was calling him to tell him that I'm out. So I texted him. I said, "Hey, buddy, do you have 2 minutes do you have 2 minutes or 30 minutes for a phone call? Because the 2 minutes is I'm going to tell him and he's going to hang up on me, or he's going to accept it or think about it and we're going to talk." So he goes, "Oh no, I've got time." So he called me and he goes, "Hey, I'm going to be hitting a dead zone in about 15 minutes. He was on the road. What's going on? I said, let me just jump to it. I said, "Hey, I'm gay." "Oh, fuck you, man. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? Yeah, you're gay. I'm gay too. No, Wayne, I'm gay. I'm coming. Fuck you. Come on, John. Because we always bullshit each other and that. And so I was so frustrated and I go, "Wayne, I'm beep." He went into the dead zone. So he went into the dead zone. We had talked for a few minutes, but I think the beauty about that was he had time to sit and think, "Hey, is he serious?" And it gave him 15 minutes to
process it.
And then he called me back and he goes, "Hey, are you serious?" And I go, "Yeah, brother, I'm serious as I could ever be." He goes, "Hey, man, that's okay. I love you. I've got your back." And then, he's a military guy. And he goes, "If anybody gives you shit, you get a burner phone, you call me and I'll kick their ass and nobody will ever know about it." That's his love. That's how he shows his love. And it was so beautiful because he goes, "You got a burner phone. If anybody's going to, because I'm his little brother. And if anything, he wanted to be protective." And wow, what a great thing. Because I thought it was going to go the other way.
Yeah.
I had no idea. So, wow. So that's guys. And again, you can't ever predict how people are going to take it.
Yeah.
And I had no right to judge that. I was prejudging him. So.
Well, your biggest fear was that he was going to reject you.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think that's everybody's biggest fear in coming out.
Right.
You're going to be rejected.
I know.
You're going to be alienated. You're going to be kicked out of the family or, whatever.
Right.
Luckily, I think for both of us, we've had very positive experiences.
Yeah.
But I don't have religion tied into my life. I don't think you have religion tied into your life, do you?
Well, I was raised Catholic.
Okay, but I mean today.
But yeah, you can get laid easy in the Catholic Church, but I never was.
I think there's a lot of men out there, a lot of, that are in the closet, that are very involved
with the
in their church.
I know it,
and that's a huge factor for them in coming out, is they are going to be alienated.
Oh, absolutely, and they're good. You're good people.
Yes.
People, if you believe in God, whatever you believe in, but if you do good, you love other people, you're a good father, you're good. Yeah, but I mean, honestly, in small communities, but then I converted in high school to Baptist. So I went from Catholic to Baptist, and that's a whole nother show for us to talk about in the Baptist church. Holy moly, And I mean, because they're like Bible bullies. They're Bible bullies, and they throw that shit at you. They throw the scripture at you and just say, and they judge you. It's really intense.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right.
We'll talk about that later. But
all right.
But I'm non-denomination. I pray. I do pray to a God. I pray to my God, and
Yeah. I'm very spiritual.
Yeah, I guess I would
don't
say
belong to an organized religious group at
Yeah.
all. So, all right. Well, we're at 30 minutes.
Well, I think it's time for us to go.
Yeah. And, we're going to put a shout out there. If you want to reach out to us, you can email us at cominginsideout@gmail.com.
That's right.
We got a couple emails already because we
did?
Yeah, we did. We had one. It was the same one that sent us 2 hate emails.
You didn't tell me this. You got a hate email?
Well, I deleted the first one and then I got a second one and then I just blocked it because I thought to myself, if you are anti-gay, what are you doing listening to a gay podcast?
Wait a minute. This is juicy shit. What did they say?
It was not nice. It was not nice. And then we got a couple that were supportive, but it was more people that I think we know that were reaching out to us. But yeah.
Wait a minute. People we know?
Yeah. Well, we dropped the first 3 episodes on Apple.
Uh-huh.
And on our Coming Inside Out Facebook group page.
Uh-huh.
And so people that we know listen to them and just send us some supportive. You mean I'll get on my computer. I'll show you what.
Was any of my friends?
Episode.
People I know?
Yeah, it's people we know.
Are you serious?
Yeah. All right. Listen, we're gonna cut this one. If you want to reach out to us, cominginsideout@gmail.com.
Yeah.
I'm Brian James.
John Derler.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, guys.